Hey guys. So far I'm here by myself. Okay, when people are in. Guys, just let me know who's here and stuff. Have any questions too? Yeah, this is something that's been giving people a lot of trouble. So we've done the first 4 problems. We're going to be working on two, and then the problem where you actually have the graph with the phase shift. All right. So let me get started with the first one. We're on question 5, right? Keeping in mind what our general formula is, y equals a cosine plus d. That's our general form, right? A being the amplitude. So if we look at question, this is question 5, I believe. This is question 6. Again, this is on the sheet that I did give you guys, post for you guys. Then I think I moved on to radian measurements. Work. And that will be updated between today and tomorrow too. Work on study.com. So the amplitude goes from the midline or the middle of the graph to the peak or the valley, the top, the apex, or the depression. The amplitude for the first one is going to be what? Let me draw the midline through it. Right? That's the midline. So there we could look at what the amplitude is. Amplitude in this case is going to be 3. So we have y equals 3 cosine, right? Our b value, yeah, you have to consider these numbers in terms of pi. That's the best way to look at it pi, in terms of the x value. So right up here, this is 4 pi. This is 0. Sorry, 4 pi is 0. I mean, this right here is 2 pi. So in 2 pi, which is a full cycle for a cosine curve, right? You only get half the curve, because if you look at it right here, I'm drawing a different color. I'm drawing it green. Look at right here. Right, it's just half the pi. It's just half the length, right? Because it starts from here to here. Right, so that's half the length. So when we're looking for what the value of b is going to be, again, we still have to keep in mind the period. Period is equal to 2 pi over b. But in this case right here, our b is going to be the period, which is the number of times it pops up from 0 to 2 pi. From 0 to 2 pi, it actually pops up a half of time. So it's 1/2. B is 1/2. So if you plug it correctly into the formula, you get P equals 2 pi over 1/2, which is going to be 1/2 times, which is going to be the inverse of that times 2 pi, right? So it equals to 2 times 2 over 1 times 2 pi, which is equal to 4 pi. 4 pi, which is exactly how the curve is shaping up to be. So this is going to be pi over 2. X, right? Right, and there's no real phase shift for this one, right? The phase shift, C represents the phase shift. Keep that in mind, phase shifts. Right, so so then we have to look at this, right? So it's plus D. In this case, that D is going to be a -4. Because if you look at it, it shifted down 4 units. Look at it. This is the midpoint, right? That's 4 units down. So it went down minus 4 units. You guys understand that? Now, first of all, who's here? And let me know if you have any questions. You can comment in the comment section. Right? Everyone get that? Let's go on to question 6, all right? So our final answer is, sorry, let me put a final answer right here. Final answer is going to be y equals 3 cosine pi over 2 x minus 4. Right? There's no question on that. I'm going to move on. Okay? Erase all this stuff right here. I'm not fond of this color. Let's go back to black. Any questions, guys, so far? See someone left? Any questions? Next one says, it gives us this curve right here, right? If you look at this curve, this is looking like it's going to be a sine curve because it goes right through the center axis of 0, 0. The amplitude, we see that the midpoint is normal, which is fine. The amplitude is going to be what? Anybody? I mean, the amplitude is from here to here. The amplitude is going to be 3. So in this case, it's going to be 3, right? This is going to be 3. I'll make another video on some of this stuff too, guys, for your reference. So the period is going to be 1/2 again. And we'll see why, because essentially from here to here is from 2 to 6, which is a 4 pi period. You saw above a 4 pi period had a b value equaling 1/2. So the period again here is going to be 1/2. Or pi over 2. Alright. Then we need a phase shift because look at it, it's shifted by 2 units. Right? So in this case, I have to be able to move, it moved 0.2 to the left, plus 2 to the left, or it moved this much. So my final answer would be, remember this is a sine curve, pi over 2 x plus 2. Right, because I want to move it back 2 units. So keep in mind, when it's in the parentheses and you move and you have a positive number, then it moves to the left. Any questions on this so far? This is from the sheet. And the other problems on the sheet just require you guys to tell like the amplitude, period, and the phase shift. What part identifies the phase shift? Well, they're giving it to you right here in the first one. C, remember C represents the phase shift. So for question, that was question 7, I believe. Your amplitude, we know almost going to be 5. Your period, in this case, your b value is 2 pi. So period is essentially just 1, because remember the period is 2 pi over b. In this case, our b value is 2 pi, so it's 1. And the phase shift for this is 1/2, or pi 1/2. Right? The last one, we know the amplitude again is going to be 1 over 10. The period is going to be what? Those are two, it's going to be pi. The period is going to be pi. For one full cycle of this cosine curve that has an amplitude of 1 over 10, it's going to be pi. All right? The phase shift over here, again, making it easy for us, is pi over 4. 1.25. Any questions on this, guys? Please let me know. If you've had questions before, please let me know. Okay, if you don't have any questions on this, guys, per se, then please drop a comment here. Also drop a comment on the classroom specific questions, and I'll go over with you. Either I'll go over it here during the live stream, or I might just go over it with you over via message. All right, so if there's no more questions, I'm going to log on right now, and I'll bid you guys adieu. I'll see you guys tomorrow.